he was supposed to do. We do not get paid for overtime, and he went in there and closed the show like a true fighter should.
And if he do not adjust, it's going to go just like 1 and 2. It's going to lose.
Welcome to Knockouts Unlimited. I'm your host, Joshua Burns.
And I'm your host, Leslie Jackson.
All right, Mr. Jackson, let's talk about these fights here. It's good to see boxing back, full audience in the stands, and all the excitement's going on around it. So what do you think about the fights? Let's start off with Nico Walsh.
Okay, we had a good main card. We had Float Like a Butterfly, Sting Like a Bee. Nico Ali stepped up, and he's done what he's done in his first 4 fights. And this fight, it looked like he's done some homework, and he showed us a lot of improvement on how he started. But I know it's just the opponents that they're picking, but you have to start from somewhere. And he looks real good, and you know, it's a lot of boxing fans that want to see the Ali name back in the ring. And it's great that we do get to see that, you know, a family member of Ali get in here and shine and do his thing.
And I agree with you. It's a stepping stone for him. He's taking it one step at a time. His team is moving him the right way. He is looking better each time out. And it was good to see him back in action, representing for the Ali name, and putting some work in. It shows that he goes into the gym, he does his training the proper way, and he's executing the way he's supposed to. For him to get a stoppage early in the fight, he really didn't get a chance to warm up. So he did what he had to do, and on to the next one for Nico Ali Walsh. Wish him better success. Let's move on to the next fight, Keyshawn Davis and Esteban Sanchez. So what is your take on that? Keyshawn Davis is a young up-and-comer prospect with a lot of talent. He has a lot of people behind him. How did you see that fight going, and what did you think of his skill level?
Keyshawn Davis is showing a lot of consistency, which sometimes it can hurt you or it can make you better. And we're watching these Olympians come up and step their game up. Keyshawn Davis looks great. But what we do want to see out of him is a little more power punching. But he got everything that a great boxer should need when it comes to boxing. He have the footwork, and he do pick his punches, and he land them at a great percentage. And that's what I like of seeing about Keyshawn Davis.
Hey, I've seen him focus a lot on his power. He does have good boxing skills, but I think he's missing some of the fluidity in his punches that I look for in seeing. I want to see more fluidity, more of a variety of punches, and a little more head movement. We will only be able to see that when he starts stepping up in competition, though. Right now, they're moving him along just right for himself. He needs the progress, and he's getting the opponents that he needs to get to shine. He's definitely looking good, but that 135-pound class, that's a tough division. That's a loaded division, so we're looking to see who's going to step up to be the greatest out of the division.
And what we are noticing about, you know, a lot of these young fighters, they're learning, and they are doing their homework. You can see the consistency, and you can see that they're choosing the right opponents for these young guys, which is great, so they can learn more about their game and step up and do their homework.
Yes, and they are choosing the right opponents, and not just them choosing the right opponents. Like you said, they're doing their homework, but the fighters are dedicating themselves to the training regimen and their diet regimen and everything. We do not see any weight issues, so they're coming in like they're supposed to. They're handling business as professionals, and they're taking care of business. What I want to see now is see who maintains that throughout them moving up the ranks. And see, because you can easily go in there and take care of your business or opponents you're supposed to take care of business with. But what happens when you get that one opponent that you're stepping up to get that name recognition from? Are you going to be fully dedicated to that? Or are you going to listen to your coach 100% of the way in the corner? This one we will see how they apply themselves in the ring and how they apply the knowledge that they get from their corners. And we can discuss more of that after we come back from a break. This is your Knockouts Unlimited.
If you hear me clearly. It's great as the lake, but I make you eerie. Hoodie on, nighttime, do that make you feel me? Hold on, I'ma make you hear me. How many times have you heard, please step out of the car? Do me a nice favor, keep your hands where they are. Don't sneeze, hope God bless you, they'll shoot like a star. And I said, hey, not who, cause we know who they are. We could shine the light, say what's wrong and what's right. But to me, I ain't had that choice. It's just like, I know shorties who would die for their chain and it's just ice. And it's crazy how we express ourselves and it's just mics.
Welcome back to Knockouts Unlimited. I'm your host, Joshua Burns.
And I'm your host, Leslie Jackson.
All right, Leslie, let's dive into this main event. Shakur Stevenson and Oscar Valdez. So we have a classic of boxer and Shakur Stevenson and puncher and Oscar Valdez. So give me your take on this fight.
What we're going to look at with Stevenson, Stevenson came to do what he always do. He keep the jab out there to measure the distance, and that's what I like to see about young fighters. They're keeping the distance with these boxers, and they're picking and choosing their punches. And Stevenson is very accurate. Every punch that he's looking for, he lands it. And Valdez didn't have an answer. When the fight first began, Valdez did a lot of reaching, which was sloppy to me. I know Shakur Stevenson is one of the best at keeping distance, and that's why that we seen Valdez reaching for Stevenson. But that's what we want to see with these young fighters. We want to see them go in and do their homework and land those consistent punches that they want to land.
Yeah, I agree. And you mentioned that Shakur was keeping distance with that right hand measuring out there. Now, I don't like the fact that he kept measuring with it and he didn't do anything with the right hand. If you're going to measure the lead hand, turn it into a jab, turn it into an uppercut, you can do something once you find your distance there. He wasn't doing anything. I think it was more of a way to frustrate Valdez than him actually doing anything else with it. He was warned several times about that, which I think that's something he would need to make an adjustment to. But overall, man, Shakur showed why he's at the top of the younger class. He has phenomenal boxing skills, has phenomenal reflexes, and it's not just his hands, it's his feet, his head movement, everything is there for this guy. He's very elusive when it comes to landing solid blows. It's going to take a non-focused Stevenson to be beaten. I think he's the only culprit into someone defeating him, because I just think he's ahead of the younger class right now. He definitely has it all. He can go to the body, he can box you. And now that he's getting more strength, he's actually sitting down on a lot more punches now. So these fighters are feeling his punches, but we just have to see how it looks down the road. But overall, it was an impressive performance from Stevenson, and big shout out to Oscar Valdez. He did try, he gave it his all, but he did not switch up doing anything. The times that he did get real aggressive, he did pretty good in getting inside and smothering Shakur, but he just didn't have 2 and 3 different game plans that he would need to fight somebody like Shakur.
And also what Shakur showed us, his mid-range game. He fight great at distance, but he did improve on his mid-range. He landed a lot of body punches on Valdez, which I think kind of changed Valdez punches and it changed his steps. But that's what we want to see out of these young fighters. We want to see them make mistakes, and we also want to see them correct their mistakes. And we did see Stevenson go in with the mid-range boxing game and land a lot of body punches on Valdez, which was great.
Oh, he did. He's just so quick. Like I say, he's so quick with his reaction when it comes to things. It was punches that were barely missing him, but that's the intent. When you're that quick with your reflexes, you want punches just barely miss you. That shows that you're seeing it at the right moment to turn and move your head or to make the proper adjustment. Shakur definitely demonstrated what he needed to do in this fight against Valdez. The frustration level for Valdez went through the roof in this fight. I think he got really frustrated not being able to touch him like he wanted to. I don't think he thought it would be easy, but he thought he would have an easier time getting to him than he did. He definitely had a hard time getting to Stevenson, and I contribute that to the training that he did. He should have worked more on 2 and 3 game plans. His lateral movement, the lateral movement wasn't there for him to utilize against Shakir. He just kept trying to get in close to hit him, and against a fighter like Shakir Stevenson, he's not going to wait for you to get there to hit him. He's going to throw punches to negate whatever you're trying to do. He definitely showed good boxing skills, a good boxing mind, and good ring IQ. So we'll be right back with Knockouts Unlimited after this break.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin, or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
Hey everyone, this is Garrett with Monster Fitness. I'm the athletic director here. This is our gym here that's got all types of training for everybody. We have our mixed martial arts side that has everything to offer. All of our classes by our professional instructors. We've got Muay Thai, kickboxing, boxing, jiu-jitsu, and wrestling. Also on our weightlifting side, we got a full-size weight room. We've got all of our machines, our Olympic lifting, our power racks. We have a high-intensity area. We've got everything for everybody here, all different types of training. Come on in, take advantage of our zero enrollment, and get signed up today.
We had a historic night. We had Taylor versus Amanda Serrano, which showcased the ladies. And since it was a historic night, we want to give your take, Josh, on the split decision that was made on that fight last night.
First of all, it was an excellent fight. It was an excellent attendance for this, and I'm glad that women's boxing got to showcase their skills, and I'm glad that everybody stood behind them. Everybody brought tickets. You saw Ireland fans over here, and it was held in the Mecca of boxing in New York. So they definitely did their thing. But the fight itself, oh man, the fight itself was amazing. Both women went at it. Both women came with good game plans, and it turned out to be a very good fight. It showed that women boxing can be put on a grand scale. It can be right up there with men's the way they did it. Amanda Serrano came in as usual, applying pressure, using her punches, her strength, and her punching power, and she just set a high work rate for touching Katie Taylor whenever she could. And Taylor did the best she could do boxing, moving, lateral movement. She showed real good shots catching Serrano coming in. She had good distance, using the ring, using her long jab and her long straight right hand, catching Serrano when she would come in, being in that southpaw stance. Then she started getting touched up. Once Serrano started touching her, she started feeling the power. She started getting busted up a little bit. And I thought it was going to be downhill from her then. But she showed a lot of guts and a lot of determination. She showed me exactly why she's held in high esteem over in Ireland and around the country and the world. She came back, started boxing brilliant. Her corner talked to her and told her she cannot stand there in front of Serrano. And she got back on her bike. She got back to doing the boxing that she usually does. She got back to doing the things that made women boxing in Ireland. Because she single-handedly brought women boxing to Ireland, made it relevant there. And I just can't say enough about these two women in this historic event. They both put on a show. And it was so funny at the beginning of the fight when they were face-to-face. Before the bell ring, when they were getting instructions from the referee, Amanda Serrano said, "I can't believe this. This is just unreal." That's because of the magnitude of a fight for women boxing. That showed how much this fight needed to happen. That showed how much all the support needed to go into women's boxing, and that showed how much that they understood the magnitude of this fight. And the fight did not disappoint. So we'll be right back with Knockouts Unlimited after this break.
Let me tell you who to blame. Blame the boy lying at your feet, his body oozing life through the hole in his stomach where the bullet tore him apart. Blame him for challenging you, for not looking away and for not backing down when you pulled out the gun. Blame your mother for bringing you into this world when she was but a kid herself and for dragging you up, not bringing you up. Blame society for not giving you hope. Blame your father for not being there, the man who looked after himself instead of looking after you. Blame the gun in your hand for making you a target, for making you more likely to be picked on. Blame the dead boy, blame your mother, blame society, blame your father, blame the gun, blame anyone but yourself for not being strong enough to put down the gun, to break the cycle.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
And we've had a great month of boxing, and we want to get to our heavyweights, Josh. Fury and White, which we know Fury is going to come in and be Fury. That Fury and White fight, which Fury dominated the entire fight, from my thoughts, I think that there should have been a different opponent in the ring with Fury than you showcasing Dylan White.
Yeah, the thing is, the heavyweight division just doesn't have that many to choose from anymore. The top echelon of the weight class are tied up right now. We would have loved to see Fury and Joshua, but Joshua has a rematch set with Usyk. But with that being said, Fury went ahead and took care of business like he was supposed to. See, these are the fights that are dangerous. Even though people feel like Dylan White shouldn't have been in there, if Fury would lose focus, that's a fight Dylan White will win. And then that will offset the heavyweight division even more than what it is. So it's definitely a fight that Fury had to take serious, and he did. He went out there and he was Fury. I love the way Fury fights. He goes in there and he has fun. To be a guy of his stature, so big, he has good movement. He has good movement at the torso. He knows how to make you miss, but flat out, he knows how to box. He knows how to box, and he knows how to entertain a crowd. So he gives you an entertainment factor with that.
And what we want to look at, Fury's going out on a great note. He's going out with the win. But Fury did make a comment. He said it might be his last fight. And it looked like he have a lot left in his tank. So I would love to see Fury step in the ring with someone else just to give us, a lot more action. We love to see Fury box, and we love to see the opponent step in front of a 6'9" boxer. Yeah. And he showcases everything that he have. He have great knockout punches, great speed. He's an all-around boxer. So when he said it might be his last fight, I want to go with it might be his last fight, because I would love to see Fury step in the ring and give us some more fun with his talent.
Yes, everybody would love to see Fury, but we'll just have to wait and see. Right now, I'll take him for his word. He's done with boxing. He's retired. So we'll just wait and see what comes next with Fury. So this has been the episode of Knockouts Unlimited. I'm your host, Joshua Burns.
And I'm your host, Leslie Jackson.